Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Man, it's another beautiful day. As we knew it would be. True indeed. Plenty of opportunities to spread peace, love, respect. Um, Man, heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Thank you, everybody who um, was looking for me yesterday. Uh, Tried to pull this off and just ran into some inability to get things going, even just get establishing the connection. But we've got that going today. The past does not dictate the future, right? We do. So let's do that. And that's a great setup for where we're at today. Well, first of all, I do thank you all truly. I love you all. It's a beautiful place to be at, to be able to say that and to mean it, right? Uh, so yeah, that's beautiful indeed. And thank you as we continue to build the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. Please help me to do that by continuing to like, share, subscribe, and to tell everybody you know, tell some folks you don't know to do so, please, right? So we can continue to build this as we keep chugging along. We're going to hit that 444 soon, and it just exponentially, bloom, blow to the 4444. I'm excited to see that happen. Um, I see somebody's in here right now. That's a beautiful thing. What I'm going to do now is the quick presentation of basically a subject matter we were going to get to yesterday, um, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. And so hopefully stick around. The presentation won't be too long because I'm more interested to hear what you folks have to say. That is what is incredibly intriguing to me. So please stick around in the chat. Heather Tokus, hey, good day to you. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Thank you so much. I love to see that you are listening, and I feel your energy. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna get on this topic here, and hopefully some more folks even come on in, and we can start to talk a little bit. But what we're going to open up with is a presentation on a subject that I kind of have touched on in some of my previous videos, but I really wanted to hone in on how it fits in here, right, with this particular 10-part series. First of all, we left off in the fourth installment, establishing, right, in a beautiful context, um, the role that human consciousness plays as a major player in physics, right? Which is certainly outside of the box of Newtonian physics, but is something that modern day physicists have made statements like, we are forced to recognize, uh, this and the role that human consciousness does in fact play in physics, right? Particularly when we open up our our um, our scientific discipline to the realm of quantum physics, right? Um, but yeah, so we established that, and we got into the fact that we are constantly utilizing our biosphere as an interface with the quantum field, right? As we are transmitting constantly out into the biosphere. Um, Most of the time, we're doing so subconsciously, and I certainly have talked in plenty of videos previously about how that um, can lead to most often us actually transmitting the issues that lie in our subconscious out into the quantum field, which actually ends up manifesting as our reality, right? Um, and that also goes to a question like one of the first things um, a lot of people tend to sort of get into debate mode with manifestation, and that's fine. Um, the first thing they say, well, if I could manifest my own reality, I would make this happen. I'd make myself hit the lottery. I'd be this. I'd be that. Um, and I understand that thinking, and that potential is there actually, right? Um, but what we don't realize is most of the time we are manifesting and transmitting from our subconscious. Um, thank you, Heather. I'm glad that you like this subject. We're going to continue on this, and I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. So, as we're in that habit, right, of transmitting from our subconscious, again, this is how we end up um, having our intent actually establish the issues that lie in our subconscious into the quantum field and play out as our reality. But obviously, the goal there and the opportunity for us to change, in my opinion, is for us to focus on trying to transmit from a conscious place, right? Um, Trying to actually make sure that we are utilizing all the tools at our disposal to get in the mode of actively transmitting our true intent into the quantum field, and then start to see that play out as reality, right? And this is where we get into manifesting. All right, so couple of I approach this a little bit differently, I think, than a lot of people in this particular sense, right? In general, I probably don't say much that's different from a lot of people that you may come across, online on uh, whatever their platform may be. But I think the perspective that I sort of take on with this is a little bit unique. Um, and I look at it in two different sort of modes, right? Modes of manifestation, I guess we can call them. One is manifesting the way I think we might be a little bit more attuned to the discussion heading toward, which is electromagnetically. And that's very natural because we are electromagnetic beings, right? Our biosphere is electromagnetic. Um, so that just makes a ton of sense and is natural to us. Now, there's a couple of characteristics about electromagnetically manifesting, even from a conscious point, that we should be aware of, right? First of all, how does that work? We're talking about getting our intent into the quantum field. Well, literally, your bios field is able and does carry your charge and your vibrational frequency, right? Now, I talked and have mentioned a little bit previously about your pineal and how incredibly unique an organ it is, um, and actually enabling you with the ability to tune yourself a little bit more finely. You can, by your emotional and mental state, sort of get in the ballpark, of what your vibrational frequency will be. But really, learning to utilize your pineal organ and having a very healthy, decalcified, and functioning pineal is uh, is is vital to that, right? So when you and a lot of people when they first start doing this um, are often doing so unintentionally or even unknowingly, right? Which I think was at one point the case for me. Um, but you start to hear a very subtle ringing, for lack of a better description, or a tone, right? When your pineal is very active and is in fact uh, playing the active role of helping you to fine tune. And this is where you're actually tuning into the channel, so to speak, right? Um, and when I say the channel, I mean a specific higher vibrational frequency resonance. At that point, you are now you're thinking in higher brain waves, right? Theta waves and whatnot, and you're able then to utilize more of the right side of your brain and to really um, have clear intent and to focus that clear intent into actual delivery into the quantum field. Well, what does that look like? Well, again, your biosphere is carrying your vibrational frequency, even that fine tuning I was referring to. Um, and what gives it its actual charge for its delivery, right, into the field, because your biosphere is obviously always intertwined with and interacting with the quantum field. Okay. Um, but what gives it that the charge of your delivery into the quantum field is the emotion that you feel, right? Um, in relationship to the whatever it is you're attempting to manifest, right? That emotion is quite literally an electrical charge, right? The intent is what your magnetism is, right? You're magnetizing. You're using the law of attraction or to attract, magnify something to you. That is your intent. That is the magnetic aspect of what you're delivering into the field. But the actual electrical charge in the delivery into the field comes from your emotion, right? Your feeling, your electrical charge that is your emotion relevant to whatever it is your intent or your magnetic aspect is, right? And that's sort of how electromagnetic manifestation works, roughly speaking, right? Um, and literally, you're charging, right, the ions in the quantum field, and your intent with the electrical charge behind it can be tuned so finite. We're talking about down at the neutrino level, right? But will everyone never take my word for anything. As I always say, do your own research and see what you find, and then I'd love to talk about it later, right? Um, but yeah, that's just in general how electromagnetic manifestation works, right? Um, your delivery of intent, your magnetic aspect into the quantum field carried through the electrical charge, delivered with force through the via the electrical charge of your emotion. All right. And that's a very powerful and effective way of manifesting, right? Um, you know, a lot of people call it when you have that intent and then you really get on fire about it. You really mean it so much. You just your emotions is just on fire about it. That's that electrical charge building up, right? Um, like I said, that's a very effective way of doing so. Um, however, I will say that there is an aspect that I think a lot of us overlook um, with electromagnetic manifestation, which is the fact that our emotions are sort of a two-way door, right? Because your emotions can very easily carry you into what lies in your subconscious, you know. Now, with emotional discipline, you avoid all that mess, right? But you need to realize that's a discipline that's important to carry into that process. To that. Um, so I don't like to throw out cautions, but I would say that's my suggestion is that you carry that emotional discipline into it because emotions can be that two-way door to flip you right back into those issues that lie in your subconscious, and you don't want to manifest that. Um, you don't want there to be anything that skews the clarity of your intent, right? Um, so that's just something that I would say to be mindful of when manifesting in that manner. Now, the other way in which I was mentioning manifesting is purely magnetically. All right. So how does that work, King? What's the difference? So pure magnetic manifestation is just that. It is all intent in terms of you are finely honed into what you are very, very specifically intending on manifesting, right? Um, and there's some tools that go along with this process that may be slightly different because they also go along with the way that it works. So the one thing you'll notice is different is the absence of the electro in magnetic, right? The electromagnetic. We're talking about pure magnetic manifestation now. Somebody else has chimed in. Welcome, whoever that is, right? Uh, I love you. We all got nothing but peace, love, respect in here, and we are building as clearly and intently as we can on this subject of the differences between manifesting electromagnetically and magnetically. I opened up talking about electromagnetic manifestation, and I'm now getting into the purely magnetic manifestation. So again, this is very deep and specifically honed, focused, concentrated on intent is what your magnetic package is, so to speak, right? What you're attempting to deliver into the quantum field via your biosphere. All right. And I hope I mentioned, forgive me if I have not, I did previously in previous videos and even in this series previously talk about the biosphere. Your biosphere is the electromagnetic field that you radiate naturally from your heart center, right? That is measurable, right? And in fact measured on average at about 24 feet, just an average number that had been observed in X amount of people's biosphere, right? Um, but anyway, back to where we're at. So you have this package that needs a delivery system, right? You're absent in this process the vehicle of the electric charge of emotion. All right. So, in lieu of that, what do you use? You use concentrated thought or focus. And, folks, this is where we see the pyramid symbolism come into play. We lean on some energetic things and bring that into their success, which I would recommend. um, or altars, or this is where the pyramids. There's even a lot of places around the world where they've constructed artificial or metallic pyramids, and that has a lot to do with their manifestation or focus in creating or continuing or bringing to fruition a certain project, maybe even a construction project. All right. But yeah, focus, right? Concentrated thought, the power of focus through concentrated thought. Um, and that's all what that pyramid energy is about, right? Is that's not the totality of the subject, obviously, but yeah, that this is your concentrated thought, right? Um, there's a lot of mudras that you would use, that a lot of people do use and whatnot, but that becomes your delivery system. Now, remember earlier I said that the intent is often very, very specific. We're seeing the connections a little unstable. It looks like okay, they're fixing it. Cool. All right. So again, you have this very focused and specific intent. That is because you have pondered it deeply, usually utilizing the tool of deep, uh, um, forgive me, deeply meditating. Um, when you really take something and hone in your focus for a specific, you know, duration, or you may just let the duration go without any specific duration in time, and just really focus on when I get to the place of clarity I need to on this specific subject that I'm focusing my intent on. I'm going to manifest deeply in that way, right? So that's probably the number one tool, is very deep manifestation, in which you'll probably use tools like deep breathing, right? Which we don't realize when we utilize deep breathing, we open up areas and sphericals, so to speak, your tiny blood vessels in your lungs that reach areas of your body and even some parts of your brain that we might not necessarily stimulate or open up as regularly as we could, because a lot of times we go through life taking very shallow breaths, right? And these shallow breaths can not exactly inflate the full lung. So deep breathing is very important for that, and in focus as well. Looks like we lost somebody. Hopefully, we'll catch you later. I know this is taking a while. I'm about to wrap up this part of the presentation and get to the Q&A, folks. But again, your delivery system becomes that focus, that concentrated thought, derived through meditation, which was actually your mode of pondering whatever it was that your intent is deeply enough in the first place. So the meditating became a tool that facilitated both things. Um, and then once you've gotten to the point that you are that deeply focused and clearly um, concentrated on your intent, your mechanism of the true concentrated thought and literally pushing your pure intent into the quantum field can be achieved, right? And that's a very uh, a beautiful process to me, I would say, because it is one that's not necessarily a quick, easy. You'll get it overnight, or even the first time you attempt to do so. Take some time and some practice and some sabali, some patience, right? And you know, when we do things like that, and it takes us some time or some effort, um, often we get great or greater rewards, right? And we look back and say, well, that was more than worthwhile, which I would definitely say it is. But that's a little bit about focusing, and one of the benefits of that also is minus that electrical charge from the emotion, um, that you have an electromagnetic manifestation. You have such clarity and focus in your intent, and there's not really that other factor that could lead you back into the issues that lie in your subconscious, right? So it's a lot more, I don't know if I want to use the word efficient way to manifest, but certainly very direct. You may electromagnetically be manifesting something a little bit more general, like, you know, peace on earth, right? Um, which is, what's wrong with that? Um, and if you put great, you know, electrical charge in that, and we have enough people doing that, right? Surely that impacts our reality, our shared reality, um, because we're manifesting in that way. So all of that is beautiful, but there's the differences and characteristics of how you can manifest, right? Um, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, and let's talk about this a little bit. So let me see what I can do here. All right, start Q&A. All right. Any questions, comments? All right. We have a questions list. Any questions, folks? By the way, as a reminder, folks, this is the fifth installment of the 10-part series, What We Are, right? Um, we This is sort of the makeup recording, which we ended up doing live. We were attempting to do yesterday, but the past didn't dictate the future. We came to a future point where we were able to make it happen, and we're doing so today. So, any questions on this subject? Any comments? Please, please, I would love to hear what you have to say. Heather, you still in here? Was that you? Let's see. Any questions or comments, folks? I would love to hear what you have to say. True indeed. True indeed. The worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Heather Tokus, you still in there? We got somebody in here. Whoever this is in the still viewing it. If you got anything to chat about, a question or comment, please please be sure and do so. Otherwise, right at about 33 minutes, I'm going to close this out and get it posted up for folks to see. And you can always comment on later. I will check in the comments and get back to you, and we'll still be conversating in that way. It's a beautiful thing. Nothing stops the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. True indeed. I love and appreciate you all. Um, let's continue to build this movement. Got another minute or so. We're going to hold up and see if anybody chimes in. I am quite happy that we're able to get this accomplished today. Indeed, you know, be grateful for things is sort of my daily mantra. I'm grateful for the smallest things and most certainly the ascending, which I look forward to now. I live my life like I'm just right in the midst of anticipation, right? I'm always looking for, instead of that negative outlook of, well, the bad thing is more likely to happen. Not really, right? I'm expecting all the best outcomes. True indeed. All right, folks. Well, we are right at 33 minutes, so I'm going to close this up. But I do thank you all. I love you all. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Check in on the comment section when you come to the channel. Check out the Twitter feed and my music on all the streaming platforms. Please, please, please. And please get the book on Amazon, the title Peace, Love, Respect. This is the new way. All right. Worldwide movement. Big King Sadiq. I am out.